Welcome to live video here. Sorry we're slightly late, but if you were, well, whatever. But this is season 3, episode, we think 5. We'll go 5. Episode question mark. I think we're on 5 of the 3 wise men. Question mark on the wise podcast. Right now we have Joe Wiseman. I was going to use another name.
And this is Captain Katz.
Jay. That's Jay.
Yeah, but I like cats.
Okay. You've been talking to Will. That's what he calls me now. But yeah, so, and this the topic is Signed Sermon of the Week. Even though you are not seeing a way, does not mean God is not making a way. Think of Phil and the sound on the top of our screen.
That's right.
That's a lot to put in there. Jared's running a little late, so you get us for the first hour on.
Surprise!
So our apologies to you for that.
Exactly. So this is an interesting subject. How many times in our lives have we prayed? Probably a lot, because we all are a bunch of prayers. Hopefully. 7. We've only prayed 7 times.
To the topic, I don't know. I'm making up numbers.
Okay, that's like if you only played 7 times, good for you.
I pray a lot, trust me.
But it's like you don't see anything happen. Well, first off, be patient, because he's not a genie, as Jared would say if he was here. And second off, sometimes things take time. You have to grow into the position. If you're wondering, we're playing with pens off the side of the screen. This is how we deal with our nerves. But
we won't see the brand, what company it's from, though.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I had caffeine.
We had a lot of caffeine. But these incidents in our life happen a lot, and it's for multiple reasons. Probably in my own life, I feel it's to teach me patience, because I have no patience at all. Not with myself, more so with others. Mostly, I think that's a bit of pride there. If I really think about that, break that down a little bit more. It's like, I want to give them a little bit more time to learn what I've learned. See how egotistical that sounds? But still, it's God's way of teaching us patience.
Mm-hmm.
And in a lot of cases, we need it. When the Israelites were given the promised land, if they were just given it all at once, they would have lost. It would have been too much for them to handle. Not only with the enemies around them, but the moment with their population being as small as it was to the total size of the land that they were going to inhabit, wild animals and things would have taken over, and it would just been a mess. It would have been harder than what it already was.
Mm-hmm.
In the same sense, sometimes before we enter the promise that he's made for us, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, because we all have our own walks with God, but he does have set promises. Before he gives us that, he readies us for it. He will never give us more than we can handle. It's not just meant for the times we are tested, it's also meant for the times he blesses us.
Mm-hmm.
He's a wise God. He's a smart God. He's a loving God, and he loves us too much to give us something before we are ready. It's just like if a parent gives a 5-year-old car keys and says, go ahead and drive yourself. You see how ridiculous that sounds? God's not going to do that for us. He's not. I mean, like as much as we want to.
Go.
I know I did. I removed the parking brake. Yeah.
Yeah, you rolled backwards.
And then I was like, no! But it's the same sense, I'm sure, as all of us know. This isn't something that is new to us. Patience, hearing about patience is not something we like to hear. It's not. Sometimes we wonder if we heard God right. There are people in the Bible who did that. Why can't I remember his name right now? It's Abraham and his wife. They waited forever. And Sarah.
Wow, I'm amazed I knew that.
You
just
do know the Bible. But
I'm horrible with that. I'm horrible with names, let alone biblical names.
But you got that.
But I got that one. Thank the Lord. You definitely give that one.
But it's like they waited a long time, and they even tried to help God along, which is a different story entirely. But the main idea is that they wait, and sometimes we have to. It's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was another way, but then again, we do our best growing in the times that we are waiting.
Yeah, like a lot of songs talk about the When you say wait, I'll wait. When you say go, I'll go. And I always ask the question, will you? Because he'll tell you to wait. We've done that for the last year we've been here, or year we've been here, a year and a half. Well, it'll be a year and a half, about 3 weeks. And he told us to come here, so we came here to Burlington. Then he told us with some literally clear signs that say exactly where you're supposed to be, and we're supposed to stay. And we're in a situation where we could have easily left currently with where we're at, and he still created a way to make it happen, so we're still here. Even though you don't see that, we didn't see a way to, like, what are we going to do? I don't know, that was back in May. And then we made a comment to a friend, and she's like, well, that's never going to happen on my watch, and created an opportunity. So just because you don't see it, just wait. I mean, it's hard to wait because we're like, we had no idea. I just got to the point where I'm like, you know what? He's always provided. He's always going to provide. It may not be exactly what I want in the aspect of at the time frame I want it, when I know how I want it. He's like, it's going to be provided.
And let me ask a little bit more questions so we can put it into reference. When he provided that person who says it's not going to happen on my watch, how did you come to meet that person?
Through a chance encounter with the leader of a church who was, I don't want to put too much information out there, was a performer at a place, an establishment that we work at. And I went over and talked to him about music. This isn't the person that did it, but I went over and talked to him about music because that's what I do, is music. And I talked to him, and that was in January of this year, way before any of this stuff happened. Had a conversation with him, talked with him, blah, blah, blah. A couple months later, they started their church, did that. A couple months later, he's like, we have someone that needs a ride to church. She's been watching online and everything. So Judy, against her normal, went and picked her up. She needed a ride to work, to church. So we don't usually do that because new people, you don't know them. They connected, they talked, and now we've connected and talked and everything. And a chance encounter 8 months ago, a guy taking a gig at our employment.
So
ripple effect.
So you met these individuals one after the other in the course of just doing what you usually do in your walk of faith.
Well, I don't usually walk up to strangers and ask them about music stuff or just random people. I don't do that.
Well, God provided that.
He created. He said, he told me to go talk to him. He goes, go talk to him. I'm like, no.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and I'm like, sure.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, and that's what he does a lot of times. Is what I'm getting at. It's like he provided for you simply. And all you did was simply obey. Exactly what I was getting at.
Yep.
And he provided a way. It's the same way with the Israelites. He provided a way, and all they did was simply obey. Mind you, they moaned and groaned, but I'm not getting into that. That's not the point. They simply obeyed. And it's the same way with when we finally simply obey. When he says, when I say go, go. When I say don't. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we obey, he will provide a way. He will only do things in his time.
Yeah, and it's always easy to.
Oh yeah, it's easy.
Like, oh yeah, I'm going to say this and I'm going to do that, and then when he actually asks you to do it, you're like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah,
I don't want to do that. That's not what I do. And he's like, you're going to do it, and you do it. But he knows the plan ahead of, like, when he told us, like our house in Galesburg, he told us to sell the house. We went 10 years ago being homeless. We're pretty in that similar predicament. And he's like, no, 7 years, so 5 years. 5 years. Because I was 14 and 19. At the end of 19, we bought a house. Provided us a house. We buy the house. We bought the house. 4 years later, 5 years later, sell the house. What do you mean? He told us to buy the house. Now he wants us to sell it. So we sold it in March. And now we're in the situation we're in. I'm like, really? We would have had a house to live in. Why did you tell us to sell the house? That's not where we're supposed to be. Because we're supposed to be in Burlington to do things. And so that he's closed all doors leading to what was there. And that's good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not saying anything against Galesburg, but it's like that chapter is done in that aspect of there. I need you to do your stuff here. And then the faith people he's provided around us, you included, is astonishing. Did Penny leave?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, sorry. I meant Penny. Just kidding.
You meant Penny, I'm just, but
But like the simple, not as simple, but the faith level, or even the encouragement and the ability to have somebody that wants to join in on this. Like you join in on the podcast. I've had people join in before.
I like to talk. I like the attention. Pay attention to me. Bye, people.
No. But they had that encouragement just in that aspect. Like, started talking at work about God stuff, and then that created that. And now we just did it last night, so it's one night so far of pizza and prayer kind of concept.
I wasn't there, guys. I was tired.
He was tired.
I had to go take a nap. I was so tired.
But no, we're just setting up at one of the restaurants. We're going to get some pizza, and people come out and chit chat, and they want to. They just grab a piece of pizza and leave. I don't really care.
And who knows where that will be.
But if so, we have some people come through, they'll go grab it. And if they don't, they don't. But create the opportunity. But he's also created the opportunity where through others, blessings have come through where I don't have to provide any of it out of our pocket. Because I've always done out of our pocket. All ministry stuff goes out of my pocket, or our pocket, and which is still his money. But you know what I mean. And now he's got this like, don't worry about it. I got to cover for you.
And here's a question for you. And would you say that he knows for a fact when you're willing to move before you know when you're ready?
He knows when you're supposed to move.
And so does he know when do you think he knows when you will follow him? Like when you will do when you walk? Because he knows when you're ready. So I imagine he probably knows when you're willing to do what he says.
Willing to. Yes. He gives us that free will. So he's like, this is the time you're supposed to do it. And whether he knows that if we have it as I want you to move at this point. Does he know if we're going to do it at that point? Is that what you're asking?
I guess in the kind of way
because he knows that we should, but then if we don't, we take this path, and then it's like, well, we go down this path. You're going to go down over here, and then get over here, which you can't see my hand. Anyway, but you're going to end up in the path that you need to be on anyway. But it might be a rougher path. Because if you're just taking door A, you would have been a straight shot. So you took door B and I got some bumps in the road.
And so we've covered that before.
Yeah.
It's like God knows when we're going to make a poor choice, and He can make a poor choice into a good choice. It eventually leads you to where He wants you to go.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Jonah and the whale eventually led him to Nineveh. So.
Nineveh,
How I remember Nineveh, I don't know. I just think the entire
you spell
story.
it?
No.
Can I was hoping you could.
It's weird that I can read, but I can't spell. I can pronounce and understand what I'm reading. I know Nineveh is a city over in Israel, probably someplace in the Middle East. But I don't know how to spell it.
It's a good question. Yeah. I don't know how to spell it either.
Oh God, it's like God's like, He will be able to read and love it, but He will not be able to spell it. And it's like, why, God? Because I don't want him to become a smart aleck.
Smart Mitchell.
A smart Mitchell is a bad Mitchell.
But like with the topic, even though you're not seeing the way there, like I said, I had it where it was in May, and like we got about 6 months of ability to get through before we started having a problem. I don't know how it's going to get there, and it took 3 months to get to that point. Well, I don't know how that's going to work. And I didn't know I didn't see it, but he already had it laid out. We just had the situations had to occur, and when it's there, it happens.
And it's like I can share a similar story without giving too much detail. So there's a particular part of my life that I've been waiting for God to show. Do I know if He will? No, I don't. I have trouble listening to God. I'll just be honest with you. There are times when I should know His voice and when I don't. And sometimes I think I hear His voice, but it's really mine. I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be. But But that's one of those things. But one of those areas, and I was like, I told him, and then it was last night. I was like, God, I can't keep doing this. It robs me of the peace that you give me every single day. And it's one of those things where I honestly, it's like whether it happens or not, I'm fine. I want to be able to enjoy the peace and enjoy what you give me and be thankful, because this is one of those things that is robbing. And maybe we can break it down to the enemy using it. Jared is apparently taking over my face. But
there he is.
But
Hi, Jared.
Hi, Jared.
Okay.
But it's one of the issues that I face, and it's a big one, because it is robbing me of the peace that it gives, and I have to keep going back to God. And maybe that's the point of me learning to go back to God when these things happen constantly, you know. And it's a way to teach me to depend on Him. I don't know, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't know the answer, I don't know the outcome, but I know it's like God. I know going to God and telling Him, I can't do this. I can't bear this anymore. Yeah. And it's not. Just before anyone thinks like, oh, that's suicidal talk. It's like, no, it's not self-harm. I'm not going that far because God's brought me this far. There's no way I want to think of those things. It's a personal issue that I desperately need God's help with. And like Paul and many other people in the Bible who had thorns in their sides and crippled limbs who never got healed, I may never be healed of this. But the point is that it's there, and I point to God. And maybe He uses it for something good, and He points it out to me. Because there's been points where I've gotten to this point, and He's like said, bam, look at what I've done through all this time. There are times when I was like, God, I don't know if I'm making any achievement, improving any, and He shows it to me point blank. He finds a way to show it to me. He's like, look at what you've done following me. Look how far you've grown. Look at how much you've grown. Look at what you're doing from where you were. Yeah, and he does those things for all of us. And I'm sure if we really think hard through those moments, and I know whoever might be listening to this could be missing, mourning a loved one, a failed relationship, whatever it is, and all kinds. I'm sure if when you get to that point of peace where you can think back, you can see where God helped you. And the same way with Jared, I'm sure, Jared, and the same with you, Jason. I don't know why I looked at you and said Jared.
You thought it was a cooler one?
I thought of both ones. I combined two people and made a really cool person.
Jared's son.
Jared J.
Jared's son. Jared's son. Jared's son. I don't know.
But
we got new names.
But
like Daniel's son.
Yeah, well, Daniel's son.
Sorry.
Now I want to watch the Karate Kid. Daniel's son.
Wax on. Wax off.
But we do not own or endorse anything that has to do with the Karate Kid. This is
not you.
But it's like, but that's a place I'm at, and and I like to share these things with you guys so that you know that even someone who goes onto a podcast who might only have like 2 or 3 people watching, but someday that podcast may reach somebody who reaches millions. The point is that being open and vulnerable does not make you weak. It allows people to see that Christians don't have it all together, and I most
transparency.
Yeah. And I think it's important because I don't want to give off this false air of I have it all together. I definitely do not, and I don't think Jay does. I don't think any of us do, and we never will in this life. But that's okay. God uses imperfect beings for perfect His perfect plans, and
that's hard to say.
It is. Yes.
Imperfect people were perfect, but a lot of letters in there.
Purple.
A lot of R's in there. I struggle with the R's.
Yeah. I always struggle with the R's. I also can't say iron.
Iron.
I don't want. I just said I can't.
I struggled with it. I worked on some of the words I had to work on.
It's like I always say iron.
I struggled with we had a similar speech therapy thing with the letter R. That's why I'm not making fun of one. Iron.
Oh no, that's fine.
So I struggled. That's the word I had to struggle with. So it was like iron. And then,
I do it for
myself.
I do it for myself. I mean, when I was a kid, I had a super horrible speech impediment, and I mean, I didn't know it because to me that just sounded normal. I thought I was speaking normal.
You sounded
my
like
speech teacher. My speech teacher literally recorded me and then played it to me. He's like, "Who the hell is that dumbass?" And he's like, "That's you." That's you. You're the dummy.
Like, that was no, it can't be me.
No, I speak perfect. And then I started listening to myself. I was like, oh, I'm not somebody. And so I worked hard at it.
Yeah.
I may have tortured myself a little bit about it, but I did work hard.
Yeah.
And it's the same way with like not being able to read.
Even though you didn't see a way, because you struggled with that.
I didn't even think that it was important, but yeah, he found a way.
now look where you're at.
Exactly. And I shouldn't have. But I was not supposed to be a good reader. I could read at a college grade reading level and comprehend what I'm reading, which is important.
And can't spell it. But I can, yeah.
And I actually looked that up. For the reasons. One, it could be the teacher, but I don't want to blame the teacher because I have great teachers. But the other one could be is like, it's left the station without the passengers. It's a learning disability that can appear in adults later on. And so that can also impair your ability to spell. You can still read. I don't know how the brain works. It apparently functions in some way. In other ways, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's there. Yeah.
And maybe God's like, you don't need to be a good speller. It's like, I want to be a cop. I should probably learn how to spell things, don't you think? I don't want a judge to read. It's like, and what is COA?
Cola. What were you trying to say with that? Cola?
Yeah, it's like writing a report and you're just reading it out loud.
What is COA?
Is this written in Crown? What the heck?
That's supposed to be spruce. That sounds close.
But
I can't spell.
But again, those are examples of God, and it's me being open and honest with you, which is what we also encourage on this show, is that we want to hear from you so that we can pray for you over issues that you have, whether it be mine, whether it be Jay's, whether it be Jared's, whether it be anyone's. But unlike me, we won't share your issues that you may be having with others, especially if you don't want us to. Your privacy is important to us, but we also want to be there to pray for you. You hear this all the time, but we are sincere. We like to pray for you. We believe in the power of prayer, regardless of if we have our doubts in our own lives or not. We do. We know that God's come through because he's done it before, if you think about it. In the same way, it's like the title of our show right now is, even though you're not seeing a way, doesn't mean that God's not making a way. And it just because I don't see anything happening in my particular situation, which may not be even that impressive if I were just to come out and tell you bluntly all the details to you, or not that important, or maybe you have answers, or maybe you've been through similar things. It's something that weighs me down, and will have those issues that some people might think it's not that big a deal, or some people might think they have the answers, or whatever it is. And the reason I don't share with it is because it's not an important part. The important part is that I know that even though I have my doubts and my fears and wondering what's going to happen, and I don't see what God's doing, I know he's still working behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And that's why I shared. And I thought it was fitting. And I thought that I wanted you to know, so that if you're in those same situations, again, I can't speak for all the multitudes of situations you could be facing right now, but I believe that God's making a way, or going to use that situation for your good later on down the line.
Yeah. And I mean, there's all kinds of things that have happened in the past. I look back on why did that happen? But I know it's because you could reach somebody in some way with it. Mm-hmm. Like the holidays are always hard for people because they lost a family member. But I lost a family member, and his birthday was Christmas Day. Kind of odd being Jewish. We didn't celebrate it that way.
Why is it odd? It's just what you are.
Well, let's say we can celebrate Christmas. But no, everyone's like, celebrate Christmas. Yeah, Christmas is family. Yep. It's been 21 years, And so like, everyone's happy about Christmas, and they go on starting in November, October, July, about Christmas. Which is, and I always thought about that, and that stings a little bit. I'm like, yeah. After 20 years of it, you just kind of, but I could relate to somebody that might be going through something like that's tough. You know what? It's just,
I get it. Yeah, no, it's exactly that's exactly right. It's like sometimes you let go. You're made to go through situations so that you can help others. So that you can bring other people out of the mess that you were in.
Yeah, he put you in that fire, get you out of that fire, so you can reach back down and get other people out of that fire.
Pretty much, yeah.
They may not even realize they're in the fire.
No, exactly.
Or pit or whatever.
And he'll do this without you even realizing that you're doing it. Not 90% of the time. Look at Jason, and what he was just sharing is that he was just living his life, living it for God, and God was providing a way for him when he saw that there was going to be an issue later down the road. And all Jason was doing what he's always done and live for God. Well, since he's been saved.
Yes,
I figured that you were going to say that. But
not always. Well, I don't know. I mean, when I was an atheist, I had similar morals that I have.
Yeah.
That I have currently, when I just didn't have the Jesus side.
And I think we also have that subject too, where I explained that there are some people who are better Christians that aren't believers who are better Christians than I am.
You don't have to be a Christian to be a good person.
No, you don't. No, it's like we are not special because we have morals. So the world has morals too, and they oftentimes coexist, and they oftentimes align with our own. It doesn't make us special. What makes us special is that we believe in the one true God. You know. Yeah. And of course, you can argue with me. I'm not here to tell you your God doesn't exist. That's not why I'm here. So just in case somebody who is of a different faith listens to this, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to in the hopes that teach people of our faith to speak and coexist with those who may not share the same views, or to encourage people who are in a dark place, or to hopefully share something that maybe reaches somebody at the right time and at the right place, planting good seeds. That's my purpose. My purpose isn't to open my mouth and sometimes put my foot into it.
And you could actually probably do that.
I do that.
Actually, physically.
Yeah. I can. Look. That's my foot that you cannot see.
He's not kidding. Clean between the toes. I am. Hold on, I can look right at it.
Although I popped a lot of bones in my legs, so I don't know if that's a good idea. But no, God prepares a way for you. He already has a way. He already knows the choices you're going to make. He already knows the mistakes you're going to make. But he uses those things to prepare you for what he's saying. Or he can use those things to prepare you for sin. Because obviously, if you chose to go the other way, you weren't ready for where he wanted to send you. So he still had to prepare you. So he used your bad choice to prepare you to go to where he wanted you to go.
Yeah. Well, I've used the destiny perspective that I had before.
I always hate the word destiny.
Well,
okay. You can use it. I don't like it, but I understand why people use it.
He has He has where you're supposed to go. Yeah. And where you're going to end up. Us in Burlington, was it 2022 when the hospital was that close in Galesburg. With that, when we looked at Burlington, like, we're not moving to Burlington. We'd have to sell the house. We'd have to go over. There's a hospital over in Burlington, but we're not moving over there. So we went to North Carolina for we did stuff in Illinois for a little bit, and then we went to North Carolina, and we came back to Iowa here to Burlington, and then they said, staying here. We were supposed to get here before that, and we said no.
But you pulled a Paul.
Yeah,
you wanted to go to Rome.
Is he doing Rome?
Wait, no, that's actually not a good choice. He wanted to go to Rome. He didn't actually resist it.
Yeah.
Jonah, he pulled a Jonah.
But the word says that's we're supposed to be here. The path is if this is the line, you're supposed to go straight up that line, and that's where we're supposed to go. Yeah. But we go, no, we're going to free will. Go over here. And the further away you go, the drag back to that destiny, or that predetermined destiny we're supposed to be. You need to be here at this point, at this time, no matter what. Yeah. And that farther away you go from that line, that rougher that might be. And he's like, you need to be here at this time. And then he gets you.
And it's interesting that your choices never cancel out what he has planned.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to go over there. He's like, well, I need you over here. Well, I don't want to be over there.
It's like, go ahead.
And he's like, do your thing. Oh, but I need you on Tuesday at 3, so we're going to get over there.
But you want to know what's amazing about that? Is that even when you're making those bad choices, you can still make good things come from. It's like when you're on that journey of, I want to do my free will, my own thing, you're actually still planting good seeds in his name. Mm-hmm. You can. There are people who made bad choices and have planted good seeds along those ways, and then came back and realized, oh, God turned something bad that was intended for my destruction into something good. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like he intended, like he planned. He knows his plans for your life. Like he planned it out, every step of the way,
Yeah.
even when you made mistakes. I'm a master chess player.
I don't know how to play chess. You probably do.
I do.
He moves things. I lose. You can't move that. Say
I'm
the
a
rule.
responder, not a planner. I don't
Say
know.
the rules. Who needs rules? Sorry, chess.
Chess. It does the mind good. Yes.
Anyways,
Where
it's
is
Jared.
Jared? Is there. He's supposed to be on the show. He chose this subject, folks.
He's going to be a little bit late, which is okay.
It's
Because
fine.
we were a little bit late.
That's only because we were messing with things. We thought we could put like microphones on.
I tried to do a different computer over
You don't do
that way. You can't see it.
I was like,
I could hear stuff he couldn't.
we were going to be DJs like do.
So I might have to try to figure something out.
Yeah.
This computer is kind of slow.
It's very slow.
But you sound slow. I was like, there.
Yeah. The other one was super fast. This one's like, I'll take my time.
It's Tuesday. No, it's Wednesday. I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
That's the problem.
But no, and for those of you who feel like, yeah, this is all great, this talk is all great, but I've made too many mistakes. There's no way. I mean, how could God? You might be in prison. You might have just gotten out of prison. You might have done something terrible and that you think that's unforgivable. That's not for me to judge. God can still use you. You have not destroyed His plan for your life. You have to understand that God's plan is beyond just like finding the perfect spouse for you. It's beyond the idea of finding the perfect job for you. It's beyond those things. It can include those things, but it's beyond those things. His real purpose is to put your life to a good use. And that doesn't mean what you think is good, what He knows is good.
Mm-hmm.
And that means sometimes you reach only one person, but that one person can reach millions.
It's a ripple effect. You drop that rock. And I mean, I know it. And I know that's what the stuff we do. With all our events, we're like, you didn't have a lot of people that came out. Like, we didn't need a lot of people. Because we we had a show, it was a Quake Fest we did, the first one, and not the first one, yeah, 2018, it was like, go big or go home.
Mm-hmm.
We went big, and we almost lost the home. But there he is.
All right.
There's Jared.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Ooh, those are all the lights. Where you at?
Remember, like midnight.
So look, get this. We had so every year my church does a event called Song at the Pole, and you know how all the churches do the See at the Pole rally. I mean, well, all the schools every year, and they're praying from the flagpole. So every year my church does one called Song at the Pole, which is that night, and they have they usually have it at my church, and we have like a live band, we have a guest speaker, and then we feed them pizza or whatever. And we have all the youth groups from all over the county, all over South Alabama. And it's really cool. Well, since my church isn't, since they don't have the sanctuary finished yet from all the damage they took last year, that we had it at a church up the road here called Three Circle Church. And this is a church in Thomasville.
There's a big screen TV behind you.
So it's a cool event. So if y'all ever listen to Rush of Fools,
I know I'm a fool, but I don't think I ever Rush.
so y'all need to look up the Christian band Rush of Fools, and they are a Christian alternative band. They're kind of more on the pop and worship side, and I've seen them 3 times. This is my 3rd time seeing them, but they played. And there was a lot of youth here. I don't know how many got saved, but I hope a bunch got saved.
Awesome. That's good. So is that where you're still at then, it looks like?
Yes.
Does that look like your house?
No, but I tell you what, there's a pile of youth up here at this event, and hopefully a bunch of them came to know Jesus.
That's awesome. Awesome. Well, it's good to have you on.
Yes.
Because I kept saying I got to come on, because I told them I was going to come on, and so we got one person watching. Y'all share this live out. Let's get 10 people in here at least. I can't stand it when we only have one person watching.
one loyal listener. It's us.
Hey, I don't know who it is.
We have to get those views somehow.
I don't like.
Look,
You don't have the numbers. I don't care, but I still don't like to see the zero.
look, Jesus Christ is in the building. That's who's watching.
Well, it's weird that we have only ever have like a few like listeners when we're live, but throughout the week we trickle in and we get like up to 200 and something for the views.
Yeah, we get views later.
Yeah,
and it's good that people watch after the fact, you know. And I like the interaction.
Yeah, and that's the point. We like the interaction, but if you're listening to this not live, we're just a bunch of people who enjoy each other's companies, who act like a bunch of fools and think we have all the answers.
A rush of fools.
Yeah. I like how you threw that in.
Yeah, you like that.
And by the way, we are not sponsored at all.
Hey, speaking of sponsors, so okay, so I got to make mention. So I announced it last night on my show, and I'm sure Justin was there. So I'm taking over the adding songs to the station, getting the set list and all that, the playlist and stuff. That way Jason can focus on everything else he needs to focus on. He's still the big biz whiz of Watts.
I'm the big whiz. Let's put it
Yeah. So like he's still the head honcho in charge. I'm just taking over adding the songs, getting stuff. So artists, email your songs in to quakeradio@yahoo.com and we'll get it played. And then we got JT Clegg that came on my show a while back. He's gonna come on and have a Christian rock show. So and if there's any business that wants to sponsor the station, please let us know. We will promote your business on our Facebook. We will promote it on the air. I'll make sure that if people come to your business and tell them Quake Radio sent you.
Yeah, we'll put it on as a sponsor on the.
See you. Yes.
Bye.
Bye, person.
Toodaloo.
But and I'll just leave the business talk to them. I'm just the talker, not the business. I'm the pretty face.
So okay.
You have a face for the radio.
That's right.
Wait, hold on.
We need to shout out our team here. I mean, obviously Jason Katz is the head honcho, and then there's Mitchell, then there's me, then there's John, and then Adam comes in and helps some too. So
you're too humble. You really are right below Jason. I'm like literally just the guy that's like, yeah, I'll come on to the show. I don't care. I like attention. Everybody thinks
Give me the ball.
When I give sermons, everyone's like, "Oh, he's so humble." It's like, I'm not doing this because I'm humble. I like attention, guys. In fact,
so look,
one of my favorite teachers actually sat down and told me, "It's like that's a lot of pastors. They like attention. That's what gets them into giving service. They like attention. They don't do it solely for that, but they get an enjoyment, from it.
And that's my problem. I really don't like the attention.
oh, we got 2 people in here now. Thank you to whoever that second person is that tuned in. Hey, I want to shake your hand.
I'm telling you, that brings people in, man. You've got that heart. Like, you know what? I like.
I'm just.
It's on YouTube.
Look. I'm just like Chuck Norris. How I attract people.
There we go.
Oh, did you like the one where Chuck Norris one time made a boulder grow up the mountain?
one connects 4 with only 3 moves.
Yeah, right.
Oh, look. Chuck Norris's blood type is AK-47.
Oh, I thought it was the atom bomb for his blood type.
Hey, look, Chuck Norris uses pepper spray to season his meat.
You know how Moses really parted the sea? With Chuck Norris. And God said, "Let Chuck Norris do it."
There was one that said, "Oh, what was the one that said?" And God said, "Let there be light." And Chuck Norris said, "Please," or something like that.
Anyway,
And a lot of people don't know this, but he's a Christian, which is really cool. And
He's
you'd have to look up his testimony. Like I read his story and about how he went to church and stuff growing up, and it's cool to hear his testimony that he's a Christian.
yeah.
Now I was going to ask you too, Jared, since you chose the subject, is there a particular reason why you chose the subject, even though you?
Yes. Okay. So, read that subject out to me again.
Even I don't think you know what your subject is. Even though you're not seeing a way, does not mean God is not making a way.
Yes. Okay. So the reason why I picked that is, so I make delivery runs at work, and I'm always in the work van, and I make delivery runs, and so even when I'm not making delivery runs, my favorite thing that I love to add to my ministry, Cooners Outdoors Ministries page, I call it Signed Sermon of the Week. And I would rather take a picture of the actual sign itself, but a lot of times I can't. So I'll go ahead and memorize it and put it as a status and go ahead and post my status. Well, the other day I was doing a delivery run for work, and I saw this church sign. And I like the old school church signs where you have to add the actual letters to it, because and which my church has one of the new signs. It's got the electronics that tells you about the events. And that's cool and all. But usually when a church has one of those, they don't put a message on there. So, but when they got the letters on there, a lot of times they'll have a message. Well, there was one that said that on the church sign the other day. I don't remember what kind of church it was, but I guess it doesn't matter. But when I saw that just spoke to me, because so many times that we don't see a way, and God's got a way, but we just have to trust that He's got it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of us trying to trust that God's got it, we want to rush God like He's a magic genie in a bottle. Like I tell one of my friends all the time, I tell him, I said, look, man, the God's not a magic genie in a bottle. We can't rush God. He knows what He's doing. He's gonna get everything situated where He's supposed to be, and you just have to trust God. And so when I seen that, I was like, man, this is perfect. I just needed to hear this. I posted it on my Facebook, and I always use the hashtag Signed Sermon of the Week. I use that way people can search that back again. So if anybody shares that, use that hashtag. That way more people can see it.
And here's another question for you both, perhaps. You can answer it. Sometimes we hear God say something, but we don't think it's God. Jared has frozen on us. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's just sitting really still.
He saw Chuck Norris.
He's playing a possum.
Look! I saw Chuck Norris. He scared me. I thought I was gonna get roundhouse kicked in the middle of next week.
There we go. Sorry.
Sometimes we think we hear God. We're wrong. And so that leads us to when we actually hear God, we think that that's not really. And so that leads us into an issue. So we're sitting here, and God tells us He's going to do something in our lives, as whatever it is, help us to achieve, or whatever it is, and we think that's not good. Because it's too much in line with what I want. That's not good. There's no way that that's God. And so we start doubting, and we start thinking there's no way, and so we stop listening. Mm-hmm. So what do you think God does in these situations?
Keeps yelling louder, essentially.
I
mean, this is what you're supposed to do. You're listening, and we think you're basically saying we think it's too much what I want to do, so it can't be done.
Yeah.
And they'll just keep proving. I've had situations like you can't stay in Burlington. I just can't be well. I want to kind of stay in Burlington. I'm like, stay in Burlington. We're supposed to go travel. I had a vision about traveling the country in a white van, a white vehicle. You see my van. This is my bus, so it's a white bus. I'm like, well, we're supposed to travel. Like, well, no, your van's provided. This is the van. And we're supposed to travel. And I'm like, oh, yeah. No, I think I'm getting comfortable. I like it. I like the job I have. Like I work with. I'm here. So I'm supposed to stay here. He's like, no, and he keeps stay here. And I'm like,
all this stuff is trying to get to the trailer.
So if we're going to be losing everything, like, here's an opportunity for you.
So much.
We're staying here.
It's going.
They say something like in a sermon at a church, when that confirms it.
Nice.
On Sunday, you're supposed to do what you're doing, what you're supposed to be doing. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Right place in the right time. Yeah, this is the place.
And I guess one of the things that I brought up before, it's like, I want to be a police officer. I'm fairly old. I'm 35. It doesn't seem old. I know I'm not 8. And like
Not like me.
you're not that old. Like 40, right? We lost Jared.
Yeah, he's in the private, Matt.
Oh, he's in private. Be right back.
He's gonna be Brob.
He'll be Rob.
I don't know who Brob is, but
I might as well just tell you, and we'll bring it up to him if he has a question for it. But I want to be a cop. My thing is, I know that this is not something that's against God's will. It doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that thou shalt not be a cop, that God cannot make use of a cop. In fact, you've even brought up the fact that many cops go on to be pastors and great pastors.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's kind of what I want to do with my life. And now, how long I can be a cop, I don't know. But that's not the point. It's like, that's something, and it's something that I say I want. But it's hard for me to believe that God would want that for me, especially now. I mean, I've never really taken care of myself. That's something I have to do. But I work in a job that I didn't think I'd work, but I love security. Security is fantastic for me. I get to greet people. I get to help people. I get to do all those things. It's like, I love those things, and it's amazing how being able to give sermons has helped me to do that. It has helped me to where I am now. And but I hear these voices like, well, if you ever become an officer, you'll have to do this, this, and this, and this, and you'll probably make mistakes and do all that stuff. And then I hear like people like that with the officers that we work with, the actual officers that have been there, state troopers, they say, you think they don't make mistakes?
Well, see, I was just saying, you will make mistakes.
Yeah, and it's like, and those fears are played into place, and it's like, well, maybe I'm not hearing God.
Yeah.
Maybe God, because I tell God straight up, and I'll tell you guys too. It's like, I can't do any of this without God, and that's just the truth. I am utterly dependent on God. I cannot make a move without Him. I don't like to make a move without Him, and the idea of making a move without Him scares me.
Yeah.
And it's like God, I need to know when it's time to move, and when it's time to do something. And that's not the issue I was facing, but this is just something that goes along with it. And it's like, I trust God enough to know that He'll tell me when it's time.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop it. We'll keep talking. I'm gonna try to get into a video, see if I can find it. So you won't see the screen there for a sec. So we keep talking.
Hi, folks.
But he'll still be there. But I'm gonna try to find something.
Yes, he has to do his side thing. So right now, forgive me if I make weird faces with my face right now. But
does this help?
There we go. I get to look in a small past tense view.
That was you 3 seconds ago. So yeah, I made a funny face.
There we go. He made a funny face. Oh God, it's throwing me off. The words don't match the lips. What is going on? I don't like it.
Chicken lips.
Chicken lips. But those are the type of questions I have sometimes, and it's like, and it's hard for me to believe that God could want the same thing that I do, because it's God. He's always had these huge plans. And it's hard for me to believe that God can make a way for me to do something that's really going to be hard and somewhat dangerous. So
hold on, hopefully he doesn't start playing.
He's doing something.
It might make noise.
It's gonna make noise, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna get banned from YouTube.
Nope. There we go. Got it.
That's
So it didn't make any noise. So hold on. Basically, you're talking about moving, and when he says, "This is a song that's been in my head for the last," you don't know why he plays it, and then you get it, and I've heard this song quite a bit for a while.
So we're gonna listen to music, folks.
Yeah, it'll probably be blocked on Facebook, but that's normal.
That's fine.
Facebook always says it. Muted for copyright infringement.
It's turd work, anyways.
What?
Turd work.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the song "Move," ironically, by the artist Fling. I believe he's out of St. Louis. I could be wrong. So let's see. We got 10 minutes left to do this.
Yeah.
Share screen.
Because right now we're floundering. Jared, we need
No, we're not. I was trying to figure out how to do this when Jared was there. I didn't want to interrupt him.
Jared, come back. You can blame it all on me. I was loud. Yeah.
I was loud. Okay. Sure, that's good. And now we are back because we were muted before.
No, we went from something really cool to us.
Yeah. Go back to cool again.
But
Like that song talks about, like I said, it's been, if you know, I have a minivan, so, but it's been blasting my minivan as I leave work pretty much every day for the last 2 weeks now. That song about move. And it's kind of weird because the song "Move" in general was a confirmation of move. We're just, you won't be able to see that wall anymore. It'll be different in the next month or after next month. Because it move. We're supposed to move in a broad spectrum confirmation.
Yeah.
The other is if it's not spirit led, if it's not of God, you don't do it. But if He says to move, you do it.
Mhm.
Obedience, all about obedience, and that's how it perfectly wraps up the show.
Yeah,
In that perspective,
pretty
of
much.
if He says to do it, you do it. If it's spirit led, if it's God, if it's of God, you do it. You may not understand why you're doing it,
And it's never too late.
and you just do it.
And it's never too late.
And ironically, that song came out 12 years ago. I was saved 10 years ago. I heard that song before I was saved.
And it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah. So
It's getting late.
we're going to go ahead and do the prayer. It's getting late. We both have to work tomorrow. And so
Yeah, I gotta be there at 8:30. I know you're always there at 8 o'clock.
I'm always there at 7.
I'll be there at 8:23. Maybe
Right before he's supposed to be there.
I'm here.
Hi, Penny.
You're supposed to be there at 8:30. No, 8:23. Yeah, it's 8:22.
But so we're
Sorry.
going to do the prayer.
Sorry.
And Father in heaven, we just thank you for this chance to come together to talk about you, to worship you. And we thank you for all the times that you use us in our lives, and for the plans that you have for us that are always for our good. We thank you that you hear our prayers, you hear our requests. Father, may these words reach the right people. May they encourage and put a smile on the right people's faces. We thank you for how you're using us and how you move in our lives. Father, we thank you. Amen.
So till next week,
Same bad channel, same bad place.
with or without Chuck Norris,
Oh, yes.
he'll always be there.
In spirit.
Chuck Norris said so. Till next week, y'all. Episode, think 6.
Yeah, it's going to be 6.
We'll be on 6. We'll say that now. We'll forget it by next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.